Windows 7. Right, so that was the platform. The trading platform was something called UBS Neo, which, in my experience, is still the best technological platform for trading, prime brokerage, custody, research, all these different pieces. Even through my diligence now, it is far and away the best model. The problem is, for those clients investing globally and having global custody, you need to have different relationships in the bank. Right, so you can't just have a single point of entry for UBS clients if you're investing in the UK or if you're investing in Switzerland or if you're investing in the US. They have to be different groups sitting on different platforms using different administrative services and models, and this is standardized through all banks. I think it's primarily why there's so much frustration on the client side that no one can figure out a tech suite that is appropriate within the regulatory framework to make this stuff work for them. That's certainly our biggest issue as we're vetting these different banks and these different wirehouses.
I'm sorry, to be honest, this is the first kind of I'm learning about global custody. So, what exactly? So the issue is basically that if I'm super rich and I want to trade equities in China or something like that, I have to have a different broker outside of, my normal Morgan Stanley broker or something like that?
This is even a better example. So let's say you're a client of mine. We're at UBS, and you've got $100 million with UBS, and you want to put another $50 million, except you want it to be custodied in the UK and in pound sterling. Okay.
Why would I want it? Why does that matter where it's custodied?
Why does it matter to the client, or why does it matter to the bank?
Either, I guess.
Well, to the client, it's kind of currency diversification. It's if you're in the U.S., you're accessing foreign markets through ADRs typically, which is not the actual underlying asset. Currency exposure, though, is the biggest reason for us. Hedging currency exposure is probably the primary reason of custody. The other reason is if your life is partly in the UK, let's say you split time between London and New York, which is what a number of my clients did, you can't be accessing a UBS bank account, a New York bank account out of London in pound sterling, right? You actually have to have a UBS bank account in London. The problem is I couldn't talk to my clients about their accounts if they're physically located in London. So even if we're talking about their accounts in the U.S., if they're in the UK, I cannot speak to them from a regulatory perspective. So if you think of that framework, all of a sudden these kind of cross-jurisdictional models break down very, very quickly because of the internal policy and some of the regulatory environment.
Yeah, just to clarify, it makes perfect sense. Would that person then need to have a separate PWM relationship in the UK? Exactly. Wow. Okay.
Precisely. Right. And so let's think about what that does to a holistic model. So the banks come out and say, hey, we have this holistic planning model for you. You're worth $100 million. You're splitting time between London and, New York or Houston or Los Angeles, whatever. And this model can only be run on a U.S. platform. Well, that doesn't work because you have a completely separate private wealth manager, or really they call it client advisor over in the UK. You have a completely different platform, different products and services. So there's functionally no integration on a global level. I will tell you, the bank that figures that out, though, from a technological side will be, I would put a significant amount of this family's capital with them, simply on the basis of ease of use.
And just to clarify, that might even be like let's take like UBS. That's a good example. It's a Swiss bank, right? So let's say you split time between Zurich and the United States, and in both places, I work with a UBS client advisor or PWM.
Yes.
Even in that case, it's still you can't like combine the accounts, or like if I log into my UBS portal, would I need to have two different login accounts?
You can. I'm fairly certain right now you can see both. But the issue is the only group that